Hi guys, this is Alicia from workersonboard.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in this very important video that I decided to make and record to talk about work at home scams and things you may encounter as you guys navigate to finding a legitimate work at home job. Tomorrow on this channel, make sure you stay tuned because I will make upload and publish a video on this YouTube channel about legitimate work at home jobs. So I haven't forgotten about you guys. So it will be here tomorrow, so make sure you check back for that video. But today I specifically wanted to talk about work at home scams. Now, as more and more people get on the internet, you guys probably realize that a lot of people or scammers are going to target those who are looking for ways to make money online or even looking for jobs to promote these scams to either get your information or to get money from you. It is a sad reality, but it is true. In fact, more and more scams will be popping up as time goes on. And a lot of times they may surface as a scam or come back with another name to try to disguise themselves, but really it works in the same way. So there's a lot of websites that have information to help protect you guys from these scams, like scambusters.org. You can go to the FBI website. They have information on scams, consumer information, the FTC, lots of different places where they give you tips to help you guys to protect yourselves. We want to let you guys know about some of the scams that you guys may encounter while you're online. For example, sometimes you may run across a scam where it will say you can be an email processor and you can make $25 per email. You guys may have seen those online. Or you can be a shipping or reshipping agent where you will receive packages in your home and can ship them back out for money. Make money doing crafts in your home. There's so many different scam offers out there. It could be starting your own business and you have to invest some kind of money, but then they don't provide you guys with the training to be successful with that. So in a sense, you kind of throwing away or losing money. There's lots of different scams like it talked about here. You can see envelope stuffing and different things like that. A lot of times you'll know sounds too good to be true, or if they're going to pay you an extreme amount of money for very minimal work. It could also be classified as a scam if they ask you for money up front. Now, that's not always the case when it comes to work at home jobs because a lot of times they may require a background fee or credit check, but you may have to pay those fees, but a lot of times or most of the time it would not happen unless they are considering you for that position, meaning that you're a possible candidate for that job. That it's almost a guarantee that you're going to get that job. And if that's the case, then it would be okay to pay that fee for that background check or whatever. And in some cases, you may even get it back or get reimbursed for that. There's also scams where you could work for a company and then not receive payment. And that's kind of on the lines of what I'm going to be talking about today. For freelancers or anybody who has their own website, or if you work from home, you could at some point come across this scam, especially if you use PayPal. PayPal is a good service to use for transactions to receive and send money, but there's also a downside to that, and I wanted to share that with you guys too. When it comes to receiving money online and you deliver a service online or for someone, you provided some kind of work or whatever you did for them, and then they pay you through their PayPal account, then they can go back a couple of months, 3-4 months down the line later and dispute that claim where you'd have to give the money back for work that you were asked to do, they agreed to pay for, they paid you, but now they want the money back. This is what I have recently encountered. So I wanted to share with you guys some tips to help avoid disputes on PayPal. It's called PayPal chargebacks. So if you sell on eBay or something like that, or in my case, if you are a freelancer and you do different services for companies or people online or individuals, maybe you wrote a post for an individual and they agreed to pay you this amount. They were going to send it to your PayPal account. Maybe they paid you, and then a few months down the line, they submitted a chargeback to your PayPal account, which means they didn't authorize their credit card to send you that money. And then you'd have to dispute it. And what's going to happen, they'll dispute it via PayPal. And then once it escalates to PayPal, then they're going to hold that amount that they've disputed, that they already paid you for, until it gets resolved. This is what happened to me. But there's one good thing I'm going to tell you guys. When that does happen, make sure that you have documentation, proof, whether it be never get rid of any emails where a company's contacted you, asked you to do work, and they agreed to pay an amount, and you did the work for them. They were satisfied with it. If they send you an email, thank you so much or whatever for doing this for our company, we really appreciate that. Make sure you keep all of those emails, because that's proof that you delivered delivered a service for them. It may not be a tangible product, good, or service, but you delivered that service for them. Even if it's PayPal allows that buyer to have 180 days to dispute a claim with the seller, so they could go back months later and say, well, we didn't authorize this transaction through our credit card, which makes it a little bit tricky. It's a trickier way for them to be able, makes it harder for you to get your money back, because you're actually disputing with the credit card company and they're using PayPal to go through that, to build a case or to make that claim, which can make it harder for you to get your money back. But it can happen, and so one of the things I recommend, that if a company contacts you and wants you to provide a service for them, to ask if they have another alternative method of paying you. It could be a check if you want to receive a check from them. That way you can avoid this altogether, because like I said, it can be harder to get your money back, and a lot of people who don't have good intentions in the first place will use this as the way to get free services from you. And so in order to avoid that altogether, you can just ask if they have other payment methods. But PayPal has a list of things that you guys can do. It says if they never received it, they paid for an item and never received it, or it wasn't as they described, or it was an unauthorized transaction, meaning that that purchase was made without the account holder's consent. If you guys were corresponding via email or the phone or whatever, then you use all of those means to try to get in contact with them so that you guys can resolve it. And that could even happen way before it even escalates to PayPal. But in this case, I was never contacted. They escalated it to PayPal, and it's a complete lie. So I have to prove my case, because they already received services from me, but now I have to fight this. And some of you guys may be in a similar situation or go through this in the future. So it tells you, make sure you use online tracking. You could even use insurance. This is mostly for these tangible goods and services that you would send to other people. Like I said, you can always keep copies of emails that you guys sent back and forth and things like that, any kind of communication that you guys have had, so that you can have proof, so that when PayPal views your claim, it can help you guys hopefully to win your case. As it stands, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I did want to talk to you guys about that because, like I said, PayPal, I've used PayPal for years. It's a great service to use to get your money easily and a convenient way to get it. But if you have transactions over, I would say $100 or so, try to use another alternative method if possible, if you can, when you're dealing with individuals. If you're not really sure, if they could come back and do a PayPal charge back. I'm not saying that you won't win the case. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying maybe you can, if you're a freelancer and you work for people and they have other payment methods, maybe you can try another method or go through direct deposit, directly deposit it to your account, and avoid going through PayPal, especially if it's going to be a large transaction. If you sell on eBay or something like that, or Amazon, try to use a different method of payment if possible, so that you can limit these disputes and chargebacks, especially if someone's trying to scam you out of money. And a lot of times that can happen, not in every case, but it can happen. So, I mean, like I say, you guys, there are legitimate companies, there are legitimate ways to make money online, but there are also scams that you guys need to be aware of. Now, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from using PayPal. I still use it myself. It's a great service to use. But it's just some of the individuals who use PayPal use it to their advantage to try to scam people. And they can do this by getting you to provide services for them and paying you for the service, but then coming back, because remember, they have up to 180 days to come back and try to get you to give the money back so that they can get the service from you for free. And you don't want that to happen to you guys. Nobody wants to go through that. It's a hassle, it's frustrating. And so if you guys remember some of those tips that I mentioned, try to keep all of your emails, any correspondence that you've had with that person, so you can prove your case. Try to use a different payment method if at all possible. You don't have to go through PayPal, and if it's a large transaction, then you can request to go through another method so that you won't have to be scammed. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have encountered any kind of problems, please feel free to leave me your comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm actually sad to even make this video, but I did want to do so because it could possibly help some of you guys if you have to deal with this sometime in the future. So please stay with this channel, stay with me, guys. I really want to help as many people as I can. That was my whole purpose for creating this channel, because I found exciting jobs and I wanted to share them with you guys. And I'm so excited and happy when I find new opportunities for you guys, legitimate jobs, and I'm going to still continue to do that. That is my goal. That's what I want to do, to help you guys to, work from home, to support you and your family, and to make that a reality for you guys, just as I'm doing. So thank you guys for sticking with me, for watching this video, for staying with this channel, visiting my website. And don't be discouraged, you guys. We can there are legitimate opportunities, and there's ways for you to fight this, and hopefully we can just learn from this, and then we can be wiser with our transactions online. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so, and make sure you check out for my next video.